What's up, y'all? Welcome to the 21st episode of The Real Word, the third season. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the show. As you see here, we got an empty chair. Pastor Sandra Camo is coming in late. Shout out to everybody for supporting. Shout out to everyone for watching. Shout out to everybody that's just been supporting the movement. Shout out to everybody that's subscribed to the YouTube. That's www.youtube.com /C for channel / The Real Word TV. That's the Real Word TV on YouTube. You can follow us on Instagram at The Real Word TV. We also on Facebook at The Real Word 7 on Facebook. That's at The Real Word 7 on Facebook. And we're on the BRIC network every Thursday at 4 p.m. Check your local cable listings. Boom. So today we got a special guest. Introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Lisa Rose.
Shout out to Lisa Rose for coming in today. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
I'm a singer-songwriter from Brooklyn, from Canarsie. Shout out to Canarsie.
Shout out to the whole floor.
Shout out to the whole floor, you already know. I'm a surgical tech also, and I'm just, someone just trying to make it, trying to grind for my family, the regular.
What is a surgical tech like, and what do they do?
A surgical tech is like a surgeon's assistant. So, like, if the surgeon tell me to grab a scalpel, I have to grab a scalpel. If the surgeon tell me sponges, I have to grab the sponges. So I'm his little assistant.
So you be in the OR, in the operating room?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's, it's so crazy. It's so fascinating to see, like, the human body, like the inside of a human body. Like,
it smells weird, right?
It's the most disgusting smell, like the most nastiest smell. But you get used to it. I got used to it.
Yeah, because when my wife gave birth to my daughter, she had C-section, and I was there when it was kind of up, and I smelled her insides. It was smelling like, ugh.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, I don't mean it like that, but I'm saying, like, it smells like flesh. Like, you can smell the flesh. Like, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it smells disgusting. But you get used to the smell and stuff like that, but it really is disgusting.
So, how'd you end up in that field? Like, what got you into that?
What got me into that? Well, it's because when I was younger, like 19, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. Like, I was just one of those people that was just like, oh, if something happens, it happens, you know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. But, what happened was, I ended up getting pregnant. I was in a relationship. I was young, blah, blah, blah. And I had, unfortunately, lost the baby at 7 months. So because of that, it just made me, like, do my research on what happened to her and what was the cause. And I just had an epiphany one day, like, I want to make sure this doesn't happen to any mother, So I have to make my first step into the OR so that way I could branch off into, being an actual surgeon for babies myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that
No
testimony.
problem.
So, in regards to singing, because you say you also do a little bit of singing, so what do you sing about, and what's your inspiration?
I sing about love. I'm an R&B artist.
Okay.
So,
rhythm and blues?
Yeah, rhythm and blues. So I sing about love and heartbreak and, stories about my exes, my past, and stuff like that, and.
So, name a few titles of your songs.
Right now I have a single out called Losing My Mind.
Losing Your Mind.
Losing My Mind.
Over what? Or over who?
Over the, some boy back in the day.
That they were.
Huh?
That they were.
I don't know. You ever meet somebody? Well, you married, so obviously you lose your mind every single day.
Tell me about it.
Right. So I met this guy, and I was, head over heels. He made me lose my mind. Like, whatever was the situation, I was there. Whatever. If he had a problem, I was there. One call away, I'll be there in 5 seconds. Like, I was literally losing my mind because I was so much in love with him. Yeah.
Dangerously in love.
Dangerously. Dangerous. It's very dangerous to be that much in love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tell me about
Exactly. It. So, so I just wrote about it, and so it's out right now.
On where? Where can they find it?
You can find it on Apple, Tidal, Spotify. Yeah.
And your singing name is Lisa Rose too?
Lisa Rose.
Okay, copy. So what's some of the lyrics in that song?
Something about you make me feel some way. It's gonna take some time, but trust me, it'll be okay.
True.
You know?
Yeah. They said, time heals all, but heals hurt to walk in. I forgot what song is that.
I know what song you're talking about, but I totally forgot.
She fancy, huh?
Yeah,
she fancy, huh?
yeah.
That song. Alright, so during working as a surgical assistant, I know sometimes you probably have a lot of difficult days, difficult times and whatnot. Does singing help you get through those situations?
I wouldn't say that singing helped me get through it. I guess it's just motivation. I guess it makes me just realize that you know what's so crazy? I never knew that there are some people, doctors or whatever, that's just there for the money.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, they're not really there to like really take care of you, you know? So when I have a hard day or a difficult time, it just makes me like motivated to make sure that I reach his position so that way I could do a better job, because I feel like I would do a better job.
Facts. Speaking of doctors, it's all about the money. I once met this surgeon, right? And his biggest complaint was doing surgery, because he mostly did he was an orthopedic surgeon, so he did mostly sports medicine, sports surgeries and things like that, sports injuries. And he was like how one of the people that he disliked the most doing surgery on was fat people, because you had to move around.
Oh my God.
And it's hard to move around the flesh and things of that nature. From your perspective, can you see his perspective, or you think he was just being, you know, a jerk?
Well, he probably was being a jerk, but I wouldn't know because I work with kids.
Okay. Cool.
So most of the kids that I work with, you know, they're like babies, premature. They have heart problems, kidney problems. You know, yeah.
So a lot of kids, a lot of babies are born with heart problems and I guess kidney and liver problems.
Yeah, kidney, liver, or my daughter had it's called hemophilia, and it's called fluid in the brain.
Oh wow.
Right, and it's basically that she was growing inside of my belly, but her, like, I guess the back of her head or the back of her brain that's supposed to cover the brain wasn't growing for some reason, and so the fluid that's in my belly was just going inside her brain. Wow. So most kids or most babies that are born with that, they're usually, you know, it usually takes time for them to talk. You know, it takes them a while for them in school or making friends, or, you know, it's a real difficult time. So I'm trying to go into neonatal, and it's basically to have surgery on the babies before they're even born, like through the mother's belly before they're even born, so that way they wouldn't have the fluid in their brain. So that's what they're trying to come together with. Yeah.
Children that are born with that, I guess, fluid in their brain, is there any physical deformities that you could see?
Yeah, sometimes they some of them end up in wheelchairs for the rest of their life. Some of them can't walk, like it's hard for them to learn how to walk, you know. Some of them just you know, stay in the hospital. Like I have a patient that's been in the hospital ever since he was born, and now he's 12 years old. Wow. Yeah, so it's a whole lot for, you know, parents to go through, for the kid to go through, because you don't really have a childhood like that and stuff like that. So it really motivates me to see that, because I just think, like, if my daughter was here, I would be in that position. You know what I mean? Yeah.
There was a recent story about a woman, I think maybe Florida, that's been in the hospital her whole entire life, and the guy, I think one of the nurses got her pregnant. You heard that story?
No.
Yeah, and the way they found out is when she was giving birth. I guess that's when he found out, and the guy ultimately went to jail. Wow. So yeah, that's the case of where that occurs. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that field is not for the faint of heart. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with seeing those things every day, day after day?
It's hard. It's really hard. I don't know how people usually like, like when my first day we did a surgery on a 4-year-old, and then the 4-year-old passed away, and I just like ran out and got in the closet, and I was crying my eyes out because my heart is so big and so soft. You know what I mean? And I had my boss just came to me and told me that like if you're not up for this, you could just get out. Like
Wow.
you have to be really strong in order for you to be in this. But if you're weak, you could just get out. He basically told me like that.
Because people die every day, right?
Yeah, people die every day. You know what I mean? So I just gotten used to it. It still hurts and stuff. Because no parent should ever have to bury their child. Period. So it still hurts every day, but I have to realize like the big picture, like what I'm trying to accomplish, and the lives that I could possibly save if I don't give up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Facts. How does your music correlates with your medicine?
To be honest, I don't know. I think that being where I am, like in the medical field, I think that it makes me, I guess, understand more, or makes me think before I react, or things like that. Like it really made me grow as a person, and I thought that I was already an adult. I'm big woman ting, I'm an adult, but I had a lot of growing up to do, and for some reason I hear it in my songs that like it's more mature. Like I don't sound like a little girl anymore. I'm more, I'm more. You could tell that I've been through stuff. I've seen things that you could hear it in my voice, and you could hear it in the soul and all of that stuff. So it's pretty like fascinating to see how, even though medicine and singing is totally two different things, how it just comes together for me. Yeah.
Yeah, life has a weird habit of doing that, especially with life and time. You go through a lot of different things, a lot of different seasons. You meet a lot of different people with different characteristics. Some people are just characters themselves.
Yeah.
And you learn to deal with that. And, some people stay, some people go, but everyone leaves a part of them more or less with you.
Yeah.
And it could be a good part or a bad part. And you, in the field that you work in, like, people leave their parts literally.
Yeah, they really do. You really do.
So, like,
Yeah. And it's crazy. I had a quote the other day. I wrote it down. Because it was so deep. Give me 1 second. I definitely wrote it down. And it was saying you can't keep trying to change people and you end up changing yourself. So, and that's for my singing and my things. I realized that I kept changing myself so that way the other person could be happy. You know what I mean? So that I was putting myself down so that way he could be way more happier, and he could be like, oh yeah, Lisa's amazing, but in the end I was just like miserable. You know what I mean? You ever like try to change somebody and realize, oh wait, this person is never going to change?
Yeah, I mean, the only way someone could change it if them themselves is willing to change. Sometimes you try to change them and you lose yourself in trying to do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you put all of you into someone, and when they leave you, you feel like you got nothing left.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing left.
When I was younger, I went through a similar breakup like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I went through a real bad breakup when I was young, and I felt like I would never love again.
Yeah.
And basically, I went through, you could say my whole phase. I started clubbing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like Usher, in the video, you got it back. Yeah, I was just, I'll be in the club.
Yeah.
Maybe people around me, and I'd just be sipping Henny and drinking, looking sad, I'll be dancing with all these girls, doing all this crazy stuff. When I get home, like, I'm lonely, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
And, but meanwhile, the people in the club, like, the photographers, they taking pictures and stuff, and other people that she knows there, so they see me, they think I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah.
Being Mr. Super Thought.
Super Thought.
And then she's like, damn, look at this guy, probably don't care about me. And then I go home and all I think about is her, and I used to go through that for that breakup dragged for years. Ironically, the weekend I was getting married, I went to the barber shop, and then she was there at the barber shop, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
see how life plays with you?
Crazy.
Yeah, I just walked out that barber shop and went about my life.
Wow. She probably's tight, though.
Hey. She did it to herself.
Yeah, she did it to herself. But yeah, it really be, heartbreaks is for real. Like, people can really die off of heartbreaks. I heard of a 80-year-old, I think he was 80, a 80-year-old man, his wife passed away, and the day that he found out, he passed away.
Yeah.
And he died of a broken heart. That is so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with old people, when they've been together for so long, after one dies, they don't really want to live anymore.
Yeah,
you know? Like I say that about my grandparents, like my grandparents came from Haiti.
Shout out to Haiti.
Shout out to Haiti. They came from Haiti maybe like a few years ago, I would say. Maybe, shoot, time's been going by so fast lately. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe more than that, maybe 7, who knows. But, and then, like, one day my grandfather, he got real sick, and then he just ended up in the hospital. He stayed in the hospital, then he ended up in a nursing home. He ended up getting both his legs amputated.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually he just withered away in the hospital. He died. And then a little bit after he died, my grandma stopped talking less. And she was like, I think my grandfather died at 92. Wow. Something 92 or 93. Somewhere in his 90s. Yeah. I think my grandmother's like 80 something now. And like first she stopped talking, then she stopped dancing, then she started to wither away, and now she can barely talk, she can't see, she got glaucoma, and she just lays in a nursing home bed, like I guess waiting to die. Yeah. And I guess that's how it is sometimes.
That is how it is. Because, you know, my grandmother is my best friend. And she tells me all the time, when we're saying bye, she has this thing that she goes, si bon Dieu vle. It basically means, if God wants, I'll see you tomorrow. And I hate when she says that. And she just tells me, like,
what's the truth? Yeah,
she's just ready to go because all her friends, her husband, she just been through a whole lot, and she's like, okay, you guys will be totally fine without me. Like, it's time for me to be in peace, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how could you say that? What about me? What about us?
They probably feel like they lived a full life.
I know.
Like, Lord, take me already.
Yeah, she says that all the time. She says that all the time.
She probably feels like there's nothing left for her to do. Like, but that's how time is, man. Like I just said, like time been moving by so fast. And I remember when we was kids, we thought we was grown. We thought we knew everything. And then as we get older, we realize that we know nothing. And then afterwards, the generation that came after us, they think they know everything now. They swear they grown. And you know nothing, man.
You don't know anything.
like you think you know, but you don't know. Like life is gonna teach you a lot.
Yeah, a whole lot. If I could talk, what would you say to your younger self? If you could see him right in front of you. He'd be like,
it depends on how young. From the future, bro. Give me some advice. It depends on how young, but I would basically tell him, you know, don't waste money on all the things that I did when I was younger, like the materialistic things. You know, I would say just put a little bit of money aside. Maybe like 10, 20, 30 racks. Might have bought a house, you know, something like that. And then, I don't know, I would say hang around better people, you know. Older women wasn't worth it if you had one good one. You know, as cliche as it may sound. Back then it sounded like nonsense, but, you know, after the first few, they all feel the same if you don't feel the same about them on the inside.
That's true.
You know, after a while it's just, and when it's time to really settle down, like, it won't be worth it, and eventually you're going to have a daughter, and then you're going to think about all the things you did.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's things like that. I would have told him to pray more, you know. It's not worth trying to be a gangster. Because a lot of people the same people that you trying to impress by you doing these tough things, a lot of them are soft and they frauds. So, and then they not going to hold you down at all.
That's true.
So, Don't waste time with that. You know, the only things that really matter is God, family, and your future. So that's about it.
That's true.
And you?
I think I would tell my younger self to just stay focused. Like, you got this. Stay focused. Because even though I feel like at this point I feel like I'm on the right path and I'm doing well for myself, it took a lot for me to get there. So if I could tell my younger self, like, listen, you could skip all of that and go straight to where I'm at right now at a younger age if you just stay focused. You know what I mean? Because I went a whole different way, and was focusing on the wrong things, and friends that's not my friends anymore.
Exactly.
And just being around negative energy. And now that I'm older, like, the friends that I used to have, they're just still in the streets. They still dotting and bopping. They're not really doing what they supposed to be doing. So I think I would just tell myself to, like, stay focused on God first. Listen to your dad, because even though he's annoying right now, he's really serious. And when you get, it's crazy. When you get older, that's when you start to see, oh yeah, my parents were right. Because my parents used to tell me all the time, don't go out late, don't do this, da-da-da, don't go to this friend's house, you don't know if the uncle is this, and da-da-da. And I used to be like, no, that's my friend, you don't know, you know what I mean? So I would just tell her to, like, listen to your parents. Like, they know what they doing. Listen to them, Yeah. And stay focused, 100%.
Facts.
Yeah.
And this life is not an easy one at all,
It's
man.
not.
A lot of you kids think life is sweet. Imagine when you're on your own, when the training wheels is off and the bike is going 100 miles per hour and there's no brakes. That's what the real world is.
Exactly.
Facts.
And there's nobody to, help you anymore, and you're by yourself. You got bills, you got school loans, it's so much that just comes with being an adult that I think that the younger generation don't get.
A constant smack in the face all day long.
A big punch in the face, like, douche, douche, douche.
You think you're done yet?
Yeah, you think you're done? Yeah, that's true.
Word. Jay-Z once said a line. He said, it took me 32 years just to find my path. My only job is to cut yours in half. I think he said 42. Something like that. I don't know the exact words.
Yeah.
But I think that's what parents try to do with their children, basically. It's like, yo, like all the mistakes that you're about to do, I did already, so I'm trying to help you out.
Exactly.
Me, I try my best to mentor the kids. Sometimes I go to schools and speak, or I go to churches, I go to seminars, and I'm also a youth leader at my church, so I speak to them every week.
Yeah.
And I admit the things that I went through in my life to them, to show them, like, yo, like, because sometimes the line that the kids love to say is like, how you know?
Exactly.
You don't know my life. You don't know my life. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm going to keep it really real with y'all.
Yeah.
And they be like, oh, like, and the looks on their faces, they be like, oh. And even some of the other elders and the other, like, pastors and the people that come in the church, like, the real ones, they respect it when you keep it real. But the fraud ones be like, oh, don't talk about those things no more because you made it out, so just keep it to yourself. You don't gotta mention that. I'm like, yeah, but there's people that's going through the same thing right now.
Yeah, the same thing.
And the thing that their biggest complaint is they feel like no one understands what they're going through.
Yeah.
And that's a lie. Like, we all been through it, just that a lot of them don't want to admit it because they want to keep that false perception that people have of them.
They do. I feel like they don't really believe in themselves. You know what I mean? I feel like there's not a lot of people like you and, like Pastor Sanders, who, like, really believe in the youth and the community. There's a lot of people that are just like, oh, let them do what they have to do. Let them kill themselves. Let them shoot each other. Like, that's not my business. I'm getting paid. Why am I gonna, you know what I mean? Everybody likes to mind their business. And I feel like if they're not getting the motivation at home, they're definitely, they're expecting it from the streets, from the big homies and stuff like that. Like, because I know a lot of people right now that didn't have fathers. you know, when they was young, and they looked to the big homie as the dad, like putting
Most of
money in
their
their pockets.
big
and
homies
stuff.
is bums, though.
Exactly, exactly. But they don't see it like that. You know, they never
Yeah.
had like a, you know, like a, oh yeah, this is how a man is supposed to be. Like this is how a father figure is supposed to be. So they just put anybody in their place. You understand me?
Facts.
Yeah.
I had a homeboy like that. Shout out to my son. I won't say his name, but he grew up without his father, and as he got older, he had a stepfather, and he said that stepfather was the closest thing he ever had to a real father, and the stepfather raised him up until the point when his stepfather and his mother broke up. His stepfather was human, you know, so he stepped out a few times, got caught up and all that. So the mother put him out, and he was like, yo, when my mom's put him out, like, it was almost like that broke his heart.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yo, like, I was just like, yo, F it. Like, he was like, yo, I stopped going to school, and I just started chilling and hanging out, and, like, I just didn't really care like that. And then eventually, like, he ended up catching a felony.
Wow.
Then he ended up catching another felony. And then they shipped him off to Florida, you know, for some reason. They always send kids to Florida or Haiti.
Like, there's not, you know, hood parts in Florida or Haiti. Like, I'm just gonna find a gang in Haiti, man. Like,
So,
that's true.
So like they sent him back up, and then his family moved to Long Island, and then like he started like hustling out there in Long Island. I'm like, yo, how you hustle in Long Island? There's no street lights. Like what do you guys do?
They find a way.
Yeah, so like started banging out there, and then he put a gun charge out there, and then like eventually he just had to learn. He's like, yo, like, he's like, yo, all that stuff is not working, bro. Like, you know, like I did all that because I was hurt. Like I didn't have a father. Like my father, like he felt like his father did not want him. Like his father just abandoned him, and then like he felt like, because he grew up in Haiti when he was younger. His mother was in America, and then eventually he came to America. So he met his mother later on in life, like, and then he never met his pops. So he felt like his mom's left him back in Haiti. By the time he came to America, he didn't really know his pops. He was with his moms, and then like he had a stepfather in his life, and the stepfather left, and then he just had the streets, and then the streets wasn't what he thought it was, like, because he was Crip, he was beefing with some blood dudes, so, like, yeah, beat him up, like, they stomped him out and everything, so he pulled up outside a crib, and then he had a gun on him, and then the dudes who was supposedly gangster, they called the police on him. When the police came, they found a gun in his car.
Wow.
I was like,
get caught up.
yeah, the streets don't love you.
At all.
The streets ain't real.
They're not. 100%.
So, yeah, and that's just one story out of many that we could tell. When I tell these young kids about it, they're like, damn, like, you really lived that life? I'm like, yeah, like, what, like, you know, God restores. That's the only reason why I'm still here today.
That's true.
And I ain't trying to let none of y'all go down that path to try to be cool. Like, I know a lot of people sit in jail till this day for trying to be cool. Like, and sitting in jail is not cool.
It's not. It's not at all. It's not, you know, wasting life as everybody just keep moving on with their lives, and you just sitting there in jail, and 10 years go by, 20 years. Some people get life. You know what I mean? For not being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or being around people that's just like, you know, comfortable where they are right now. You know what I mean? It's like, it's really sad because there's a lot of black men in the jail system. Like, the jail system was meant for black men. You know what I mean? And it's really sad that there are talented people, smart people, you know, that just got caught up. That if they did have somebody that was really telling them, like, you can really be somebody. Like, you really don't have to do this. You know what I mean? I feel like they just need, I don't know, they just need motivation. And it's really sad that, you know, instead of them being in hospitals or being lawyers or, you know, being something productive, doing something productive, having a family, getting married, you know. There's so much to life that they are missing because of that one mistake, you know, that one mistake.
I met this older dude, this OG. I think he's probably like, I think he told me he's like 60 something or 70 something, but he looked like a Bill Cosby in shape almost. Yeah. Like you be wearing skinny jeans and all that. I'm like, look at this old dude.
Yeah.
Like he was telling me, like when he was living in North Carolina, he used to drive truckers, like those big trucks, and he was like, he used to get money. He had his own place, and you know, he used to enjoy women here and there.
Yeah.
You know, he had the extra money, and he an old head, so that's what they do with their money. Yeah. So he was like, one day he was driving, because he used to drive from North Carolina to California, to Texas, from California, like all around, because, you know, he didn't have children, he didn't do all that, so all he did was just drive and make money. So he's like, one day he was driving in North Carolina, and he had a new car, because he was saying that he had just bought a new car. He bought a convertible, and he had a few beers, and when he got pulled over by the cop, like he passed the sobriety test, but he failed the breathalyzer, and so he got the DWI, and then they took away his license, they took away his CDL license, so he couldn't work anymore. Then because he couldn't work, he lost his house, lost his car, ended up being homeless, had to move to New York because, you know, North Carolina really got no welfare program like that, a shelter. So he moved up to New York to live in a shelter basically, and now he's homeless. All of one bad decision. So.
And that's like an everyday thing for people, you know. Like you heard about what happened on Flatbush, that this guy basically came from Haiti. He stayed with his family, and he just got caught up with the wrong people. And the people came to his house, and his little brother opened the door, and they shot the little brother 7 times.
Wow.
7 times. So now, you know.
But not the boy then.
Huh?
But not the boy.
Not the guy. Just whoever opened the door. Whoever opened the door, they was gonna, you know, shoot
young
at
kids
him.
shot them. Oh, he was banging.
He was no, the older brother was banging, and I guess he had beef with some other people, and they found out where he lived, so they came to the door. They came to the crib, and basically rung the doorbell. And his little brother, who's 15 years old, opened the door, and they shot the little brother 7 times.
Wow, because the little brother probably looked like him. Wow. And then what happened after that?
Nothing. They still trying to find the guys that did it. And
who's trying to find them? The older brother or the police?
Both. Both. But you know, it's really sad because like people don't be understanding, like the people that you love can get caught up in it too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because now he has to live with the fact that he will never, because of his actions, and he came to America to better himself because he was doing bad in Haiti. You know, so his mom like bust her ass and do everything so that way he could come to America and do good for himself. And he came, and you know.
Wow.
So now it's like, now you have to live with the fact that your actions and the choices that you made, you know, you lost your brother.
But that's a familiar story though. Like dudes come from Haiti, they barely speak any English, but they want to be gangsters in America. They don't even got green cards.
Yeah.
Like I got a homeboy right now. Like he was in jail because he was in jail for a robbery and a burglary. Basically, they broke into a place, burglary. Then they tied the person up, kidnapping, and a robbery because they were armed.
Wow.
So, he did a year on the island, and I guess his code D copped out or whatever happened because his code D blew to 25.
Wow.
And he got freed. So I don't know. You do the math, whatever you want to say. So, and we went to go see his code D, and his code D was like, "Yo, you got a second chance at life. Don't mess it up, because my life is over right now. I'm doing 25, 30. My life over right now." Because if you like 25 and you do 25, you come out when you're 50, like,
it's flip.
and you coming out to like what? To live in a shelter because you already know how Haitians move. They're not letting you back in their crib. So it's slow for that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Yo, don't mess up, don't mess up." And then he was like, nah, man, I'm not going to mess up. I'm not going to mess up. So I had him under the wing for a little bit, man. I was looking out for him and everything. And then, you know, my life started progressing. And I was like, yo, like, I got to go all the way clean, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I can't play both sides.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm getting too old and, you know, I can't take no charge right now. So he was like, all right, blah, blah. And then I guess he felt some kind of way because he was going around the hood telling people, oh, Ricard is on his pastor stuff. He think he better than everybody else. He think he gonna save the world. He think he gonna change the world.
Yeah.
He out here preaching and this and that. Oh, he
Yeah.
think he that man. But I knew him when he was in the streets, blah, blah. I knew him, this and that. And I'm like, yo, bro, at the end of the day, I'm trying to better my life. I'm trying to change. Now, because at that time, I was like 27, 28. I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, yo, I can't be doing the same things all day. Like y'all think scamming is making money. Like, nah, people out here making real money. Like, and going to school and all that. Like, someone could never take a degree from you.
Exactly.
Never.
Ever.
Like, so what is you saying to me, bro? Like, you know, like, eventually I'm gonna need insurance. I'm gonna need a 401k. I'm gonna need a house. I expect to have a family. You know, I can't be doing the same things that you doing for a Gucci belt and some nudie jeans. Like, I ain't got time for that. And so he's like, all right, man, it's whatever. And then on the low, he started beefing with me. I'm like, yo, bro, like, if you want to beef, go ahead and beef. Like, I ain't got time for that. Eventually, like, you know, like, I met up with my wife and, you know, situation changed. Eventually, I moved out the hood. At that time, I lived in Canarsie. I moved out Canarsie. I lived by downtown Brooklyn, and then, you know, now I live where I live, which is none of y'all business. Don't worry about that. so, him on the other hand, he kept trapping. You know, he kept trapping, he kept hustling, he kept scamming, and he was a hot boy. Like, I'll be riding with him, and he'd be throwing pieces on the floor of my car. I'm like, yo, bro, like, I feel like you trying to lie me. Like, what if I was to get pulled over and now I got pieces in my car? It's my car. They're going to charge me for identity fraud and whatnot. Like, come on. Come to find out, he got caught in a situation where he was in the car with like 3 other people and somebody dropped a gun in the car. They caught a gun charge. They got sent to the county and they was in the county for a little bit. He wanted me to bail him out. I'm like, yo, I told you I left the game, bro. Yeah. And I can't, like, your bail is my 1 year salary. Like, I can't really take that chance. Like, not with you, because you've been moving the hot and you still moving the hot. Yeah. So for that, you know, he started beefing with me again. I'm like, all right, bro, do what you gotta do. But you know my body. If you come for me, it is what it is. So we just gave each other space. Yeah. So after that situation, like, I just kept progressing. And then I didn't hear from him for a while. And then one day I got that jail call. You have a collect call from so-and-so. Yeah. Like, I looked him up on the locator, found out that he was on the island again. And I went to go see him, and he was like, yo, they called me on some BS charge, blah, 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 this and that. Come to find out his original charge, because it was over 1 year, and he wasn't a citizen, like you were saying. He was straight from Haiti. Like, not straight from Haiti, but he'd been in America for a little bit, but his papers wasn't all the way, you know, done. Because, you know, that takes a long time. I remember I didn't become a citizen until I was damn near done college. Wow. So, you know, we had to put that money out. It wasn't cheap neither. Like, for the lawyer fees, the paperwork and all that, like, they drag it out. Because they do background check all the way back to Haiti sometimes on you. They really do. So when they did the background check on him, they seen, hey, you did over 1 year in jail. So what was this, a felony? It was like, no, he capped out to a misdemeanor, but the judge then I want to, like, basically if the judge brought the days down to 364, how much days? Yes, 365 in a year, right? So if they brought it to like 364, 363, then he would be good. It wouldn't be a year. But because the judge kept it at a year, then that caused his green card to be revoked. Because his green card was revoked now, he's here illegally. So ICE came and snatched him.
That's crazy.
Now he's in the camps with the Mexicans.
Wow.
So he called me like, yo, they got me in these camps with these Mexican dudes and these El Salvador dudes. I'm like, yo, I don't belong here. Like, bro, you belong there because you're not American, and you was moving like you was an American, and you got caught up. And he's like, damn, man, I wish I could do stuff different. I'm like, yo, And I'm like, yo, it's crazy because you and your cousin grew up in the same house, and she's a nurse now.
Yeah.
You know, and you've been jailing for the last 5-6 years. So
It's sad.
yeah.
That's really sad.
But shout out to Pastor Sandra. Come
Yeah,
on, he's in the house.
shout out.
What's up?
Shout out.
Man, like I said, go piggyback what you're saying, man. Like I said, choices leads to consequences, man.
Yeah.
And it's very unfortunate. And the thing is that we shouldn't allow our background or our past to determine where we need to go. So it's always good to make wise choices. You know what I'm saying? Especially, being raised with a single parent from the hood. Like I said, you could always take a negative and turn it into positive. So, yeah, man, that's real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely.
So why y'all think it's kids that's coming from these different countries that's coming to America, and they think that they run America and they trying to be gangsters in a foreign land? Like, that doesn't make sense.
I think they need to learn from Tekashi. Learn from Tekashi.
I think it's I think they get comfortable. They get it too easy over here. That's what it is. I think that my dad always tell me like you and your brother don't know how easy you guys have it. I used to do homework under a street light because there was no lights in my house in Haiti. Like, you guys have it so easy, and y'all just wasting time. You know what I mean? And he's just like, if he had the opportunities that we have right now, that he would have been far in life. You know what I mean? He would have been far. And people don't really understand that there are people from different countries that are fighting to get to where we are right now. Literally fighting and making the little money that they make over there. They're stressing out. They're trying to get their kids and everything so they could come here and so that their kids could live a better life. And they come here and they see that they have it good. You know what I mean? Like, mom's working. She give me $10. I go, buy a little dime, da-da-da. You know what I mean? They just wasting time, like just wasting time. And I think they're just comfortable. That's what it is. They're just comfortable, and they get caught up with the wrong people, get caught up with the wrong friends and stuff like that, and just think that they know life. Like we said, like they just think that they know everything, and they know that they could handle this life. Like, oh, these little guys, they don't have nothing with me because I'm from Haiti, I'm a vagabond and this and that, I'm a gangster, I was a big gangster in Haiti, America have nothing on me. And then and they take you and they send you right back to Haiti, and you realize how good you had it here. You know what I mean? So it always happens like that. And I think that us as people that didn't give into the lifestyle, because you could have went another way. You could have been like, I'm gonna be a gangster forever, and I'm gonna just keep doing this, and don't worry, bro, I got you, and then probably end up in the same position that he's in right now. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people just have to pray and ask God for guidance, because people don't really do that anymore, especially our generation. They don't really do that. And ask God for guidance, and and ask God to keep away the negative people that's trying to get to you, because even though you have a good heart, the person that's next to you probably have a bad heart. And if you're not strong enough, they could make you have a bad heart. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that we just have to get it together and, talk to the community, talk to our youth, and, tell them, like, don't be afraid to tell them your mistakes, because I feel like the reason why I am the way that I am is because my dad just wasn't scared to tell me, like, yo, yeah, I did this before. Like, when I was in Haiti, I used to do this and da-da-da. And it made me realize that, like, if he did all of that and he just changed himself for him to have a whole family in America and a church in America and mortgage and bills and what I mean, like really doing good for himself, what is stopping me from really achieving what I need to achieve? You know what I mean? If he came here with nothing and made something out of nothing. If I have all these opportunities, why can't I do what I'm supposed to be doing and reach where I'm supposed to be going? Like, what's stopping me? You know what I mean?
Sure.
So people don't really understand, like, the only person that's stopping you from
It's you.
is you.
It's you.
Is you. You know what I mean? The only person that's really stopping you from getting to where you're going is you. Like, you're the reason why you don't want to wake up in the morning and, you know, apply for school and do that. You keep saying, like, 5 years. Oh, my God, 5 years. I can't do 5 years. You know, yeah, I was just telling him that the other day, because a lot of people were saying, like, I have a lot of friends that have goals, and they say that, oh, my God, it takes 10 years for me to do that in school and graduate and stuff like that. And I tell them, like, 10 years is going to come regardless of what you do or not. So it all depends on what you're going to do in those 10 years. Are you going to try to better yourself, or are you just going to stay in the same position? Because the 10 years is going to come regardless.
Exactly. And anything lost could be found except for time wasted.
Exactly.
I think the Bible gives us a great example with the story of Joseph, where he was sold into bondage at the age of 17, and he didn't get to see Pharaoh till he was 30.
Yeah.
So for like a good 13 years, it took him to get to his pinnacle in life.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are stagnant where we want to get things overnight. And I have friends like that, like that they was willing to get it overnight, whether they had to rob, scam, hustle, and they all got caught up. You know what I mean? Like, I had this one friend, like, all he used to do was scam.
Yeah.
Like, you go to his house, you see like an industrial printer, fake checks, like
professional scammer.
Yeah, like a
And
big bag of dope, and that's what he used to do.
Yeah.
Stuff is dying. Goes dead now.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because they do all of this scam and stuff like that. They could be really good accountants. Like, they don't see how the negative that they're doing, and you're so good at stealing other people's money. They don't see how you could change that into something positive. Like, you could really be an accountant. You could really work at a bank. You could really handle people's money. Like, make sure they're saving money. Like, you know what I mean? They don't see it like that. They don't see it as, you know, let me better myself. It's like quick money, fast money, and you know, fast money is never good money. So they're just comfortable, I guess, you know.
Yeah, more or less. I think he was forced out of his comfort zone by the courts when they forced him to get a job and do an internship.
Yeah.
And then now you see him in a shirt and tie.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do this to get off papers, but
Yeah.
I think it elevated his mind, because I think the biggest misconception with majority of the young men and women that's living in low and poverty neighborhood, we call it the hoods, is that they only see up to 10, 20 blocks.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And if they do go to a different borough, that's probably like once a month or once every other month or something like that, where they go to Manhattan, they call all their friends and brag about it.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like, to them, like, they'll get dressed up just to stand outside type situation.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I used to see people, they used to get one fly outfit, wear it for like 2 or 3 days, stand outside,
Yeah.
walk across the street, come
Yeah.
back, go to the store, take a picture for online, and then go in their house.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that was life for them, you know. And I used to be one of those type of people. I didn't get a passport till I was well in my 20s. I was like 27, 28 till I got my passport.
I still don't have my passport, which is so sad. I need to go get it.
No, you good. I mean, I'm working on it this year too. So you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't up until I met my wife that, like, she was like, "Oh, you gotta get your passport. You gotta travel." And I'm like, "All right." And I was like, "Yo, let's go to Cali." And I ended up going to Cali, and I seen the vibe was just different. You know, the way the people lived, the air, the vibe. You know, the houses, everything was just different. And then from there I went to Miami, and, you know, all the places that they be talking about, Collins, South Beach, Wet Willie's and all that, like, you know, So I was like, oh man, this what they be talking about, you know? Then from there, like, I went to Mexico, and I was like, yo, they be disrespecting Mexicans, but Mexico is beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I was like, damn, like, they had the clear water with the see-through fishies and all that.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, and, you know, like, and people show you love, you know? It's like, it's not even like a black-white thing, you know? Like, they respect you. Like, and most of the time when I went to other countries, they thought I was a celebrity anyways.
Yeah.
They was like, this black guy, like, how you get here? He must be a rapper or something. Like I remember when I went to Belize, they was like, "Oh, you a rapper? You a rapper? DMX, rap." And I was like, what? And I was like, but in my mind, like this is probably what they think about black people, especially black people here, because they used to see in only like the other side, places like this. So if you hear like you must be a rapper, like but that's the vibe when you go to other places. It's just beautiful, and then you start seeing the world so differently, and you like wow, like like New York in the hood, just like it's like a big tombstone.
Yeah, you see that, right? There's so much more.
In New York, of course.
You know what I mean? There's so much more.
And then New York puts you in a constant state of like awareness where you like go mode all the time. Like I remember I was in Belize in the middle of the night by myself. I was driving a go-kart through the rainforest, pitch black, just driving. And it's like when I was there, instead of having cockroaches, they had lizards on the walls. Instead of having like squirrels outside, they had frogs. And you see the difference between the cultures in the neighborhood and the atmosphere. And he's like, yo, like everybody here showing me love, but no one knows me here from a hole in the wall. And you start to really think of life like, yo, where's all this hate really coming from?
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
That's real. I wanted to ask you guys a quick question out of a topic. How you guys feel about the Neverland documentary that's out right now, Michael Jackson?
It's a documentary?
It's a documentary.
Yeah, it's a 2-part documentary. I think 2 or 3 hours each. I think it's on HBO or something like that.
How do you feel like that it's coming out and Michael can't even defend himself?
I mean, what you think? I'll let you go first. Ladies first.
Look at her face.
Damn. It's Is it people that came up with the story or like people that was around him?
I think it's his accusers. His alleged accusers.
It's alleged accusers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he did it. You think so?
I think it's questionable.
Oh yeah, because
I think it's questionable.
Yeah.
Because of there's a lot of things going on. The people. Let me tell you something. People. You can't really say that you know a person based off of their music or based off he was an amazing artist.
Of course.
And you know what I mean? You never know what can happen behind closed
doors. Facts.
Like the whole thing with R. Kelly, I love R. Kelly, you know what I mean? So watching that whole documentary with the girls and stuff like that, it really just like, you really don't know, these artists and these people that, you really look up to, like ever since you was young, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I can't say that he probably didn't do it or he probably did or something, but I really want to watch and see. And
I think it's unfortunate that now that he's dead, now they want to bring things like that up. I think that's crazy.
I think that that's the only issue that I have is that they waited until he died for them to come out with all of this stuff, because it probably isn't true. Just like those girls with the R. Kelly case, they waited 10, 20 years to say something. With Bill Cosby, they waited 10 celebrity or got raped by a person. It really messes up your state of mind. It messes up the way you love somebody else, you know what I mean? It really affects your day to day. So I could understand why they would take a long time unless somebody else comes out, because this is a big celebrity, you know what I mean? So sometimes girls feel like if I say something, they're not going to believe me. But if this girl says something, and then this girl says something, and this girl says something, it's going to be more easier for me to come out, because people have a thing of, oh, he's a celebrity, you was just trying to sleep with him anyway. You know what I mean? So I think that that's the case, that we get scared that that somebody's not gonna believe us because this person has so much money that, oh, he didn't really rape you. You was trying to have sex with him because he has money. He's a millionaire. You know what I mean? So they stay quiet for a long period of time, and it breaks them down.
That's crazy.
It breaks them down, and it's hard for them to be in another relationship or love somebody else because they're keeping this secret that is really, you know, it really messes your mind up. You know what I mean? I never been through it, so I never could say, I can't say how they're supposed to react, but I'm pretty sure that it's really something, it's hard for them to deal with. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, real quick, if you go to vanityfair.com, /Hollywood, there's a list of 10 undeniable facts in regards to the Michael Jackson situation. The first one is, undisputable facts. They said that at the age of 34, Michael Jackson slept more than 30 days in a row in the same bed as a 13-year-old boy. I think that's weird. So far, 5 boys shared the same bed as Michael Jackson. They said that he paid $25 million to settle a lawsuit with one of the boys, with $18 million going to the boy, $2.5 going to each parent, and
That's crazy.
The rest going to lawyer fees. He also paid another $2.4 million to another boy. They said that he suffered from a skin situation, and the boy was able to draw the markings on his penis. So obviously the boy saw his penis.
That's crazy, bro.
There's also a security zone around his bed. Near his bedroom, so they could see who's coming in and out the room. He also had porn in a suitcase near his bed, and S&M bondage photos, I guess erotica, and statues near his desk. So the boys that slept in the bed with him saw these pictures and stuff, because the forensics found fingerprints belonging to the boys and Michael Jackson on the pages of the porno magazines. According to the staff that worked at his house, they never saw a woman sleep in his bed or spend the night. That's including Lisa Marie Presley and the woman that supposedly had the kids with, and the woman that carried the kids said she never had sex with Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Not even once.
So it was artificial, basically. It is artificial. It's not artificial. It's basically
I don't know, because those kids are white, bro.
Savage.
They also said that he gave expensive gifts to the parents of the children, including a house, a diamond bracelet, and other expensive gifts. 2 of the boys' fathers, who accused Michael Jackson, committed suicide. And 2 of the boys' fathers committed suicide. I guess they couldn't live with the guilt of basically selling their sons to Michael Jackson for his pleasure. And in 2002, Michael Jackson told Martin Blasher that there was nothing wrong with sharing his bed with boys.
You know what's so crazy, man? With this Hollywood thing, man.
So these are just facts.
There's a lot of
pedophilia.
It's real. I mean, and that's the big thing that's going on right now too. You know what I'm saying? Especially what's going on with the Catholic Church, and
they said every year over 400,000, between 400 and 800,000 children go missing. About 100 to 200,000 of them are black children. They said that they have camps in Michigan, Texas, and Missouri where they auction off children. There's also live auctions where they sell people in Libya for about between $400 to $600. You can buy yourself a person.
That's crazy.
In Libya.
That's, you know, it's so crazy. I recently just learned about that because I was trying to do I was doing a slideshow in my church because we always have like a Black History service. And I was coming up with a slideshow, and I needed pictures of like slaves back in the day and stuff like that. And they were showing me 2019 slaves, and I was really surprised that there are a whole bunch of slaves being sold in Libya right now. Like as we speak, they are being sold and abused, and women are being raped, and children are being abused, and it's just really sad that that it's 2019 and we still have to, you know, witness things like that. You know what I mean? And it's really heartbroken. That really broke my heart that, you know, there are people that really just they're just trying to. I read somewhere that they were trying to travel to another part of Africa. They was trying to travel to another part of Africa, and they basically they wouldn't let them travel to the other part, and that's that's where they got caught, and kids are getting kidnapped, and kids are getting raped, and it's really...
Yeah, basically they're trying to get from Libya, I believe, to Nigeria or to the coastal African nations so that they could try to get to Europe to try to get away from the carnage. Basically, after they killed Gaddafi in Libya, it became destabilized. So there's a lot of war going on, a lot of different things going on. So it's basically people that claim that they'll help them get to freedom or help them get to Europe, but instead they kidnap them and sell them into slavery.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah, so crazy. So we going. Time is almost up. So closing thoughts.
And it was real. I mean, I was watching you guys through online. I really love what Lisa's doing in regards to music. I'm looking forward for the album to come out.
My EP.
Oh, your EP?
Yes.
Oh, there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
You want to call album, you know, I'm really looking forward for that.
What does EP stand for?
I think it stands for exclusive product.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a taste before the album. So it's like 6 songs instead of like 12, 14. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the album. That's what I'm really looking forward
Yeah.
for. Not the EP. No more teasers.
Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Well, thank you for having me here, you know. And I feel like we talked a whole lot about things that people really needed to hear, you know what I mean? And I just want to thank you for the opportunity to come here and speak my mind. And I would like everybody to download my single, Losing My Mind, on Apple, Tidal, Spotify. Follow me on Instagram, Lisa Rose, my Facebook, Lisa Rose also. And I feel like that the biggest message is remain focused, you know? So wherever you are in your life right now, stay focused. If you have a dream, go for it. If you have a goal, go for it. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Just do it, and you know, achieve success. Like we need more African Americans just achieving greatness. Like we have greatness in our blood, so we really, you know, so just don't give up and keep focused.
Facts. This is simple, but this is deep. Don't believe the history that was told to you backwards. Don't let that go over your head. So I thank everyone for watching The Real Word today. I thank my guest, Miss Rose, for being here with us today. Shout out to Pastor Santa Camo. Shout out to everybody that's been watching, everybody that's been supporting. You could donate to the show, www.gofundme/therealword. That's gofundme.com/therealword. You can also follow us on Instagram at therealwordtv. That's Instagram at therealwordtv. I'm also YouTube. YouTube.com/therealwordtv. That's The Real Word TV on YouTube. And we'll be on television Thursday at 4 p.m. on the BRIC Network. Check us out. Also, vote for us. Go to bricktv.com and vote for us so we could be an award-winning television show. Why not? So vote for us. The ballot is out right now, I think up until April. So go out there and vote. I know you guys don't vote for nothing else, so vote for that for us and just let us know, all right? Send us close out with prayer.
Father God, we pray you may continue to order our steps. We pray that you may continue to strengthen us and empower us into the people that you want us to be. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, shout out to everybody for watching. We thank you, we love you, and we see you next week.